This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Good evening and thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. We're checking in first with Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory, tracking storms. And Kevin, it is a lot calmer than we saw this afternoon.
3:30 to 4 o'clock is when we had the damaging wind moving through Hendricks and Marion County, right through the metro area. Strong storms are over. Doesn't mean we won't have additional showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but not expecting severe storms. Temperatures are steady now in the 70s instead of the low 90s like we had during the afternoon hours. Many scenes like this: eastern Hendricks County, western Marion County, this in Avon, a large tree down, lots of tree branches and power outages as a result. There's the first wave, widespread wave of thunderstorms, some that were severe. Here's other rain coming to the southeast ahead of a cold front. That's a little more obvious. And then I've drawn a few arrows here. You got a couple little areas of rain developing in northwest Indiana. So my message is we're not quite done with the rain now. 73 the temperature in Indy. Between 7 and 11, you see these areas of rain sliding to the south and east, diminishing in overall coverage.
And 4 people, including a juvenile, were hurt in a collapse at a construction site in Brownsburg. Emergency crews received the call right after this afternoon's storm moved through. Fire officials say 1 person was trapped, but workers were able to get them free. All 4 people were taken to the hospital. The person taken to Riley Children's Hospital is in critical condition. We will keep you updated at theindychannel.com.
COVID-19 cases are on the rise in 80% of states, and globally, health officials say the pandemic is accelerating. Here in Indiana, the State Department of Health is reporting an additional 561 positive cases. That's lower than what we've seen over the last week, but Monday totals are typically lower. An additional 3 people have died, bringing the total number of coronavirus deaths in the state to 2,709. Even with increased testing, the state's positivity rate has been about steady at about 9%. Across the country, we are seeing more ripple effects from the spread of the virus. Multiple baseball games have been postponed, and a major company says its employees won't come back to work until at least next summer. ABC's Trevor Ault with the latest now from New York.
The World Health Organization says with 16 million infected by the coronavirus, the pandemic is not just continuing to wreak havoc, it's spreading more rapidly.
And the pandemic continues to accelerate. In the past 6 weeks, the total number of cases has roughly doubled.
28 states and Puerto Rico are seeing a rising number of COVID-19 deaths, and the testing crisis is deepening. 15 states now reporting problems, and some waiting for results up to 19 days. In Arizona, Stephen Cortez says he battled COVID symptoms for nearly 2 weeks before receiving his positive test result.
Getting through it was rough. Like for a whole week straight, I was pretty much in bed. And my fevers got up to 104, almost 105.
A pair of Major League Baseball games scheduled for tonight have been postponed as the league conducts more tests following more than a dozen members of the Miami Marlins team and staff testing positive. And Google now announcing its 200,000 employees will continue working from home until at least July of next year. That as drug company Moderna moves into phase 3 of clinical trials for a potential vaccine, though broad distribution is still months away, even in the best case scenario.
We're talking late this year, next year, before the FDA can make this adjudication.
And here in New York City, the ceremony honoring the lives lost in the September 11th terror attacks will not be held in person this year. That tradition of reading the names of the victims will instead have to be recorded. Trevor Ault, ABC News, New York.
Districts across central Indiana have pushed back start dates and are offering remote learning options as families prepare to send their kids safely back to school. As you consider the best decision for your family, Chris Conte is sharing the science behind a specific scientific number that many experts believe is key metric to measure safety.
It's daunting for sure, the decisions that you have to make.
A summer of social distancing is giving way to a fall of uncertainty for Courtney Knopfsinger and her family.
We had no idea that we would still be battling this in July heading into the next school year. It's just absolutely mind-blowing.
Courtney has spent the last few weeks agonizing over her daughter and the start of the coming school year.
It's been a little bit lonely for me.
Like so many students, 11-year-old Presley Knopfsinger wants to go back, leaving families across the country at a critical crossroad.
But we're fearful, especially when the data keeps changing.
So where can parents turn for guidance MIT has created the COVID-19 projection machine. It gives parents an interactive map to work with. As you scroll over each state, you can see current case numbers. Pay attention to this one number, though, the positivity rate. Health experts say once a state's positivity rate goes above 5%, parents should take note.
Parents don't like to hear me say it, but we will be undertaking a whole series of experiments across this country.
Dr. William Schaffner is one of the country's leading infectious disease experts. He wants parents to be flexible if cases in your district start to rise.
That school system is going to have to figure out if there's a trigger point there where they call a timeout and everybody stays home and the learning becomes virtual.
Dr. Schaffner also says in-person learning will be more successful if parents model good behavior at home. Wear a mask in public. Show your kids what social distancing looks like.
If you do that in your family already, then it'll be easier for the child to understand what's happening.
Oh, that was sweet.
As for Courtney Knopfsinger, she's decided to let her kids go back on a hybrid schedule and is emphasizing safety.
Just keep coaching them, keep putting the thoughts in their heads that they have to wash their hands, they have to wear the mask going in and out of the building, and why.
Like so many other parents just trying to get safely back to school. I'm Chris Conti reporting.
Meantime, starting off a new year with remote and virtual learning can seem daunting for families that are choosing to keep their kids at home. Our Kelsey Anderson has deeper details on resources that will help you and your family navigate a virtual classroom.
The Indianapolis Public Library has tons of resources for students, parents, and teachers to utilize during virtual learning. They have free books and tons of online materials that can help keep everyone engaged in learning. All of the Indianapolis public libraries are open right now, of course, with safety precautions in place to keep everyone safe and healthy. For families that don't have internet access, you can use theirs free of charge. But if you aren't ready to venture out into public, the library has hundreds of resources like ebooks, audiobooks, and even videos that you can stream or download. The good news is most kids who go to school in Marion County already have library cards to the Indianapolis Public Library.
We've been working really hard to make sure that school children have library cards. We've been going school district by school district and have issued thousands of library cards.
The library does also have a blog where you can get ideas on books, experiments, games, and links to help kids with their homework. I've linked a ton of the resources available to you over on the RTV6 News app, but some of those resources do require a library card. You can easily get that at indypl.org. I'm Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Throughout our struggles with COVID-19, we sometimes forget that there are people going through the toughest health fight of their lives unrelated to the virus. And there's an organization working even harder to meet the needs of our most critical patients in Indianapolis. Fairhaven Foundation, a refuge in the storm, a temporary home for our most sick patients and their families near their doctors free of charge. Thousands of people come right here to the heart of our city for some of the best care in the world. And Fairhaven is able to serve nearly 100 families a year who stay on average for 4 weeks. Derek Brown from Gary needed a stem cell transplant here at IU Health, and thankfully, an apartment with Fairhaven opened up just in time.
I don't even know where to begin. Fairhaven has been great. Words can't even put into play how much they've been there, from day one, helping me out.
Fairhaven owns a new building that would allow them to serve 6 times as many families each year, but they did have to postpone their biggest fundraiser of the year due to COVID-19. So this week, they're hosting a virtual fundraiser. You can watch their stories of hope and find more details on how to donate by going to our website, theindychannel.com.
For the first time in a long time, spare change just isn't so spare anymore. Coming up, what you should do right now with that jar full of coins sitting on your shelf that could make a difference in a fellow Hoosier's life.
Plus, professional football players could face financial penalties if they participate in risky behavior and catch COVID-19. Details of a new agreement between the NFL and athletes.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
The need is great. If you have clean clothes, you're very fortunate. But there are many in our community who do not.
Tonight, business owners all across the country, including right here in central Indiana, are asking customers to use exact change when paying with cash. The Federal Reserve says the pandemic is causing a disruption in the supply chain and circulation patterns of coins. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is showing us it's an issue that's not just impacting businesses, but also a group that helps families in need.
With the situation the way it is, I don't know what's going to happen.
At a time when having clean clothes is critical during the pandemic, Laundry and More had to cancel its Tuesday laundry date 2 weeks in a row after only receiving one roll of quarters from the bank.
We spend $400 a week on average, and $10 is only 7.5 loads.
Laundry and More is a program we first told you about last year. Abby Vesga is the founder. Along with volunteers and members of Servants of Christ Lutheran Church, they did 12,000 loads of laundry in 2019 and assisted around 2,000 families at the Post Road Laundromat at 42nd and Post Road.
You see not only them walking out with clean clothes, but I've seen people with hope come back into their eyes and those little twinkles.
It's not just about doing laundry. They also connect families with housing, medical, and dental resources.
And we've walked with a number of people that, whom we met and they were living in their car, who didn't have a job and who, through a community working together, they found hope again.
Laundry and More will be back next week after Abby put the call out on Facebook and was able to get some quarters donated and exchange money with a local vending company. But she estimates what's in these bags will only last about 3 weeks.
I really did not know that COVID was going to affect our organization because people need laundry.
In an effort to help with the coin supply problem we are dealing with right now, the U.S. Mint is putting out a call to action for people to start spending their coins, depositing them, or exchanging them at financial institutions. Working for you, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
And as the economy recovers and businesses reopen, the Federal Reserve says that more coins will flow back into the retail and banking channels, which should allow for the rebuilding of coin inventories. The U.S. Mint is operating back at full production after temporarily reducing the number of employees during the pandemic and minting almost 1.6 billion coins a month.
And the coin shortage caused by the pandemic has gotten bad enough in one city. A Chick-fil-A franchise there is getting creative. Starting this Wednesday, customers of the restaurant in Lynchburg, Virginia can get a free meal if they bring along $10 in coins. They'll get a $10 bill back along with a voucher for an entree. The restaurant says the deal is on until it gets all the coins it needs. We'll see if other fast food restaurants follow suit. Kevin.
A little heavier rain moving back into Hendricks County, Liston, Pittsboro, Brownsburg on the way there. After the rain, we've got a whole new temperature trend. I'll share that with you coming up.
Players in the NFL face costly penalties if they catch coronavirus away from team facilities. An agreement between the league and players states a player engaging in high-risk activity away from the team could be fined or face not being paid. The memo issued to agents defines some of the high-risk activities as attending indoor parties, bars, nightclubs, or concerts where there are more than 15 people. The memo allows teams to challenge a player's COVID-19 diagnosis as a football injury. A successful challenge would allow teams to possibly place a player on the non-injury list with the option of not paying them.
More retailers are joining Walmart in announcing that they will close their stores on Thanksgiving Day. Target says early holiday shopping typically leads to crowded stores, and this is not the year for crowds. Instead, Target will begin its holiday deals in October. Dick's Sporting Goods made a similar announcement about Thanksgiving today and says it will continue to give its employees a 15-pay bump through the end of the year. Closing on Thanksgiving has been a source of tension between retailers and labor advocates in the past. Kevin.
Well, look at this downpour. Maybe you had to wait it out in the car or you were waiting in the house as the strong storms with torrential rainfall moved through the metro area between 3 and 4 o'clock this afternoon. Our Kyle Mounts caught this downpour with the street flooding and 50 to 60 mile per hour winds. Temperatures, they surged into, in many cases, the low 90s before the thunderstorms arrived. The humidity had pushed heat index values into the triple-digit range, 99 to 101. We're currently at 73, down from our 91-degree high, 77 in Terre Haute and Lafayette. Temperatures have recovered in Chicago to 83. There's a cold front to our northwest. That will still generate additional showers this evening, but these strong winds with the storms should be over. 46-mile-per-hour peak gust in Terre Haute, 52 in Indy, but Speedway, Avon, Brownsburg had some 60-mile-per-hour gusts, and the power outages and trees down to show for it. There's the stronger storms now pushing into Ohio. Here's your broken line of showers with some little moderate rain. Terre Haute to just north of Greencastle near Bainbridge, to north of Brownsburg, Liston, and into Muncie and Delaware County. We'll see additional showers back behind that come to the southeast but continue to weaken. So this is just icing on the cake just to get some additional rainfall. We'll take it. Crossing 231 just north of Bainbridge, you can see between Crawfordsville and Greencastle. That's the view as we look to our west as the showers arrive. You've got this line that we have now that will be south and east of Indy by 9 o'clock. The secondary line, which is developing, should also generate some more showers, maybe a rumble of thunder as it drops to the south and east, though I think it will continue to break up and weaken as we really cool things after sunset. Dry and less humid tomorrow. You'll notice it. Wednesday still dry. Next best chance for widespread thunderstorms. That will come on Thursday. The temperature trend in the short term still relatively warm the next 2 days. Then we'll be consistently cooler as we go from the end of the week through the weekend. Let's call our humidity level tomorrow somewhere between pleasant and a little on the sticky side. That northwest wind will help us out, keep temperatures and the humidity down. Here's your 7-day forecast again. Thursday sticks out because it's our best chance for rain. Friday through the weekend into early next week. Highs around 80 with low rain chances. Mark?
Kevin, thank you. Kids in Marion County now have back-to-school supplies they need to begin the new school year with, courtesy of the Salvation Army. RTV6's Stephanie Wade has been talking with families about how this helps them, especially right now during this pandemic.
Here at the Salvation Army in Fountain Square, kids are picking up backpacks and other school supplies as part of their back-to-school prep.
I want to hold it. You want to hold her?
As kids get ready to head back to school, COVID-19 has put many families in difficult positions financially, worried how they can afford everything their children need for school this year.
It's helping because financially, we're struggling. And so being able to come get the book bags and some supplies, since they definitely have to have their individuals, is definitely going to be a great help for our family this year.
I think especially this year, it is so important for us to do these kind of distributions because COVID-19 has been hard on everyone. Most of the families that we serve have already been in a vulnerable position, especially financially, and now they're trying to make additionally difficult decisions on less income.
The Salvation Army of Fountain Square handed out book bags and school supplies to 300 children today in Marion County, equipping them with the tools they need to be successful this school year.
A lot of the events that you normally go to aren't doing it this year, so it was great to hear that they were still hosting it.
Stephanie Wade, RTV6.
To get involved or to help with the Salvation Army, you can visit their website at salvationarmyindiana.org. We'll be right back.
RTV6 and the Indiana Black Expo are teaming up for a virtual Hiring Hoosiers Employment Opportunity Fair. It's coming up on Thursday, July 30th from noon until 4 p.m. Quality employers are coming together to help Hoosiers connect with careers, and immediate job openings are available. To get connected, visit IndianaBlackExpo.com. Kevin.
Between Rockville and Greencastle, rain showers, then northern portions of Putnam County as well. Then cutting through Brownsburg to, say, Zionsville, also Eagle Creek, some rain up toward Anderson, and then a little broken line of heavier showers, but those should weaken as they drop to the south and east. Amanda.
Thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Our next newscast is tonight at 11. We'll see you then.